Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game 2 of a sunny Saturday afternoon doubleheader. This one's here this afternoon, the men's contest between the Mount St. Mary Knights and the Manhattanville Valiants. We are about ready for kickoff. Bob, you were telling me before the broadcast, and this is something I couldn't quite wrap my head around. In 6 years of playing each other, the Knights haven't beaten the Valiants.
Yeah, in 6 contests, they have never beaten the Valiants. Last year, they lost 4-2, I believe, on the road at Valiant.com field, GoValiants.com field. So we're here in Kaplan. We'll have to see if this new look side of the Knights will be getting us going.
And in what is, or at least what feels like a down year for the Valiants, cumulatively in all their games, they're 3-6-1. They do sit at 1-0-1 in conference, but the glaring record is the overall one, and 3-6-1 compared to the Knights 4-2-3. Cam Welsh kicks it away, and Bob, it's time to party. 3 p.m. kickoff. And Bob, again, the women won earlier today. We're hoping the men can follow suit. The weather from the first game has carried over into this one. And Bob, you can't really ask for anything more.
Yeah, very pretty day out. I was a little bit mistaken about my predictions for last game, so I won't say too much, but both teams average only about a goal a game, so I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. So we'll have to see what happens by the end of the 90 minutes.
The Knights, of course, on a 3-game heater. The latter 2 games, conference wins, including a win here on Wednesday against Sarah Lawrence.
An exciting one at that. Quintinen with a gorgeous free kick to secure the victory there in the 86th minute. As everyone probably saw on the Instagram, Lucas and I were not quiet about that game winner.
Bob and I had the pleasure of broadcasting this one, as we have the pleasure of broadcasting this one. You know, it's a gorgeous day. It's a Saturday. The Red Sox are in the playoffs, Bob. I can't complain about much here this afternoon.
Man, oh man. Phillies have been in the playoffs. I can't complain about much either. The Red Sox, what's his name, Sedani?
Cedon Rafaela.
Cedon Rafaela with
Build the statue.
walk-off.
Build the statue.
Mr. Cold Shoulders.
So the Valiants will operate deep out of their own end. Playing with the ball here now is Aiden Sivio, 6'4", 205. We were talking about an impressive build on that young man.
That is a large fellow. A sophomore. He's 6'4", dude. That kid's younger than me. Oh, my gosh.
I have the 6'4" part down, but 205, you have my respect.
That's a lean boy.
So Sivio working with it now. Deep, the Valiants deep in their own end, very methodical with the ball here early. No pressure yet from the Mount, working it almost towards midfield. Come the Valiants, getting it past midfield. That one's corralled by number 36, Guido Sarango. Leaving it now, here come the Valiants. That one almost taken away by Tynan. Tynan will force it loose, but the Valiants able to maintain possession and finds its way all the way back to Sivio. Working with it in the midfield circle are the Valiants, getting it back out. So no rush to move the ball upfield for Manhattanville.
Definitely a feeling out phase these first few minutes. I'm seeing a lot of passing, a lot of hold-up play. Seems to be they're just trying to force the press out of the Mount, which the Mount are biting on at the moment. So we'll have to see what Manhattanville comes up with from here.
A lot of back and forth between Sivio and number 6, Alex Rojas. The Knights finally able to knock the ball away. It's Liam Hughes working with it right around the midfield line, leaving it back deep at Sam Bevavino. Bevavino's pass deflected, but it stays in bounds, hits a body out towards the far sideline. The Knights able to corral it. Hughes sends it out of play. The referees rule it will go the way of the Valiants. So the Knights, as usual, in the home whites, they're going from left to right. The Valiants in maroon going right to left. Thrown in for Manhattanville. We're back underway. Hughes gets a foot on it, sends that one out of play, headed towards the tennis courts, and we'll do it again.
Off it goes, and I'm realizing that, it's been a very long time since we did women's games, that the men use the neon balls, the women use the white ones. I didn't realize that. I thought they both used the same balls.
I assume they're different sizes, no?
Yes, you were completely correct, actually.
Okay.
I think, at least. I could be totally wrong.
So Sivio and Rojas doing some heavy lifting early on. The Valiants operating most of the contest so far out of their own end, and really just with that defensive duo of Sivio and Rojas.
Certainly comfortable sitting on their own end to build up pressure here, build up play, I should say. Pressure coming from the white and blue of the Knights.
Getting in on the mix, number 8, Kenneth Suki. A lot of passing early on for the Valiants. And, if the Knights aren't going to press and force a pass, why would you try and force something that isn't there? The Valiants now with a step. Slow roller for goalkeeper Noah Horn. First time we've mentioned his name today. Wraps that one up with ease. Goal kick coming.
I don't know about immediately to grab that one. again, very keen to be off his line as fast as he can to get that ball gathered up to leave nothing to the imagination.
Good toss from Horn, left for Welsh. Welsh had a little trouble on the pass, tried to get it, or sorry, no, to Wallace, had a little trouble trying to get it to fellow freshman Cam Welsh.
There we go, and the nursery back out in full force once again today.
So the Knights youth movement, 3 freshmen in the starting lineup, the usual 3, TJ Mark, Cam Welsh, and Ethan Wallace.
Been very, very, very good, the 3 of them, playing as if they've been here for 3 years already.
The Knights, again, we were talking about the overall record as Wallace leaps, can't quite get a hunt on it. The Knights overall sit at 4-2-3. In conference, they stay unbeaten. They're 2-0-1.
Very impressive from the Knights in conference this year as they come off that 1-0 win over Sarah Lawrence. As we said, Manhattanville follows a 4-0 win over Purchase. So 2 hot sides coming into a collision course here.
So, I mean, we were talking earlier, and at least before the broadcast, I mean, on paper, 3-6-1 doesn't wow you, but they are 1-0-1 in conference, a half game behind the Knights.
And Mr. Tynan himself, when he talked to you earlier in the week, he did say himself that Manhattanville is a very tough side, so it's going to be a difficult challenge today.
That one's sent towards the net by Kenneth Suki. Horn will wrap it up without much contest. I mean, of course, you never want to undermine your opponent, and, I mean, if this is an opponent you haven't beaten since you started playing them, I mean, I'm sure this one means a little more to the Mount.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every conference game means more, but it means even more if you still haven't beaten these guys in a long time. So something's got to give eventually, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't beaten these guys at all, certainly it means more to a capacity. And, of course, this is, I mean, as I should have mentioned, this is a conference game, Skyline Conference matchup here between Manhattanville and the Mount. So the Mount has won their only home conference game so far. That was the game you and I had the pleasure of doing on Wednesday. The referee signals for a stoppage of the clock.
Quick stoppage of some sort. He's asking something of Horn. I don't know what happened.
If I had to guess, probably something on the field that shouldn't be.
Some water bottles
Water
inside
bottle
of the
in
net.
it. How did he see that from 50
That's
yards
impressive. That's really impressive.
Impressive field vision from the referee. Horn gets rid of the water bottle. That was clearly affecting everyone's play.
Shout out to our neon shirts.
And it'll be Rojas and Sivio just working it deep out of their own end. Sivio using all 6'4", rifles one just over the head of Alessio Scanapiaco.
Wow.
And out of play.
There we go. So you can get one tough name per game. You know?
Exactly. And if you're, exactly, Bob. If you were here for the women's game earlier, Bob and I had a whole discussion about, usually for the games we do, the opponent has one name that is impossible to pronounce as Hughes plays good defense on the centering pass. That one deflected off Hughes a second time, wrapped up by Horn, but it does go out of bounds. So it will be a corner kick for the Valiants.
So a little bit of pressure here early from the Valiants. A corner kick coming out. We'll have to see. They're bringing a lot of bodies in here. Would not be shocked if they're looking for Sivio in the box. Obviously a very large looming presence. So he will be tightly man-marked. And a in-swinger off of the left foot will most likely find its way towards the back post.
So the Manhattanville men's team hopes to fare a little better offensively than the women's team earlier today. Sea of bodies in front. Trying to get a foot on it was Alec Pineda. He could not. Scanapiaco chases it down, sends that one right back towards the middle. Mazzarelli able to get a head on it, able to get it out of harm's way, but here's Rojas corralling it now for Manhattanville. And we were talking about the women's team earlier today struggled, did not get a shot at all. Barely any offensive statistics recorded for the Manhattanville women earlier today. So the men, of course, looking to avoid that same fate.
100%, and I have a feeling they will because they're already pressing the issue a lot more in these first 10 minutes here. But the Knights' defense will definitely have to stand tall as Allison and Bevavino, the cornerback. It's NFL's tomorrow, not today. Center back duo of Allison and Bevavino looking to stand tall once again. They have been phenomenal in their play as of late.
And that core 4 of the Knights' defense from left to right, Wallace, Allison, Bevavino, and Hughes, at least the games we've had the pleasure of doing, they have all played quite well.
Absolutely, and I'm acquainted with Mr. Hughes on the far side of your screen. Very good guy. And it sounds really stupid, but they were announcing the lineups, and I heard number 18. I almost forgot that he's in the lineup, and I thought to myself, damn, it's a consistent fullback right there. That's what I want out of a fullback.
And, Bob, you were talking just before the game. I mean, the Knights, on average, surrender less than 2 goals a contest, or it comes in at 1.56, the official number. And that's a testament to both Noah Horn and just that core 4 on the defensive front for the Mount.
It certainly is, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the The Valiants have conceded more than they've conceded a lot more than they have scored this year, so that can come into effect for the Knights in a positive sense, perchance.
That would explain the 3-6-1 start the Valiants are off to through 10 games.
Absolutely. It's not going to be helpful towards your overall when you are conceding 19 through, what is this, 10 games?
This would be game number 11.
11, so yes.
Working with it now for Manhattanville is Manuel Morales. Gets it all the way back. That's number 4, Alex Bakiochi. Let's see. Bakiaki. Okay, I was close.
Oh, well, no, that's almost 20 goals through 10 games there. So, yeah, they're averaging 2 goals against the game, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, that's just under 2 goals a game. The official number?
1.9.
1.9. Thank you. I should have been able to do that in my head, actually. That's just 10 over 19.
Well, we don't get paid to do math. We get paid to talk.
Exactly.
So, good thing we got a lot to talk about, eh?
Yeah, thankfully we don't get paid to do math. Goodness gracious.
We'd be in bad shape if we got paid to do math.
I would not be bringing home too much money, that's for sure.
Oh, goodness.
Wallace along the near sideline, guarded tightly by a duo of Valiants. It's Ryan Keyser getting it back to Dale Allison. Allison, that pass deflected, but it gets to Mazzarelli nonetheless. Mazzarelli now with the step, guarded tightly by Sarango. On comes Kenneth Suki, his cross-field pass taken in, and now it's Rojas and Sivio back deep. So Rojas and Sivio, they have spent a lot of time with the ball. They've been operating mainly out of their own end, but it seems like the offense starts through the two of them.
It really does seem that way, yes. They're generating a lot of passing in the back here to try and draw out some attackers for pressure so they can open up their midfield to play out the wings.
That throw-in fielded cleanly by Hoffman, rifles it across the field, giving chases Wallace. He will not get there, ends up out of play near the Valiants bench. Throw-in coming now for Manhattanville. Scanapiaco to throw it in, leaves it short. That's Manuel Morales. Morales gets it back to Scanapiaco, who gets it back to Morales. Morales up ahead now. It's Pineda with a step. Pineda will leave it all the way across the field. It's Sarango giving chase. Gets it out now to, that's number 4, Alex Bakiaki.
Great tackle by Hughes on the far side as the passing from Manhattanville looking very fluid off the rip here, but the mount only bending a tad bit, not breaking so far.
A little over 10 minutes into contest, 33-43 and counting down. I mean, again, and time of possession is all really approximation, at least this level, or at least at this level. But Manhattanville, it feels like, has dominated the time of possession here early.
It certainly feels about an 80-20 so far, maybe a 70-30 at the least. But it definitely does not seem like the white and blue have held on to the ball very much.
There haven't been any bona fide opportunities yet, but it feels like the Knights have been on their heels most of the half, and now here comes Manhattanville. Good defense there from Allison. Allison taking an opportunity there away from Pineda, and now just has to get it out of harm's way. Does it. Hoffman knocks it down. We'll see if the Knights can turn this into some offense. Hoffman, guarded tightly by Sivio, has that one poke-checked away by Morales. And that one ends up all the way into the hands of the goalkeeper, number 00, A.J. Lucas.
Good old 00. That's one way to organize your goalkeepers, a single 0 and a 00.
I mean, I feel like we've seen a lot of that 0, 00, 1. The women's goalkeeper from Manhattanville earlier today wore number 21.
Yeah, that's definitely different. That's definitely a position player's number. The goalkeepers can kind of choose whatever's available or whatever they want. And again, at this level, it's usually just whatever's given to you.
Yeah. Sivio and Rojas playing some catch in the backfield. They quickly move it up ahead. It's Morales. Morales gets it to Fernandez. That pass taken away and taken right back. Fernandez falls, a little slow to get up, but gets up nonetheless. That goes off the head of Hoffman, off the head of Mark. Off the foot of Mark, almost hit him in the head a second time. That one's still loose. The Knights able to come away with possession. It's Marco Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli tried to get that one upfield. That pass blocked. Him and Tynan both in pursuit of the ball. 2 of the 3 captains on the field for the Mount right now, the third being Sam Bevavino. Tynan now working with the ball with some offense. The Knights just trying to get any sort of offense going here now. Not much to speak of so far. Almost 15 minutes into the first half. Wallace double-teamed, has that one taken away. Working with it, Sarango. Sarango gets it to Morales. Morales works with it, chips it upfield. Giving chase is Alec Pineda. He is guarded tightly by Ethan Wallace. Pineda fires that one towards the middle, centering pass, but there's nobody home. In the vicinity, it was Roberto Velasquez Osorio. But he could not catch up to that one, ends up out of play. There's a few names on there's a few names on this Manhattanville roster that are certainly a mouthful.
Agreed. Well, they also have about 3 teams worth of players listed on the roster here. So
What was the number
Whole
we
lot of
said?
guys.
42
people.
42 men on the paper roster in front of us. I assume that this is not the travel roster, as there are significantly less than 42 guys on the Manhattanville sideline.
I think they're all under the little awning here, being protected from the sun, so I can't count how many guys are on their sideline.
I would be willing to bet you can't fit 42 people under that thing.
No.
So
Unless they all pack in like clowns.
that would be hilarious.
Do you, like, just Tetris a bunch of guys in? If you were to, like,
If Manhattanville scores a goal and 31 people come out from underneath that canopy, do you realize how funny that would be?
oh my gosh, they all started rolling out like sardines.
Yeah, exactly. just never ends. It's like a magician reaching into his hat. Never-ending cloth. Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Just red jerseys just keep pouring out.
and so I'd be, barring anything insanely unforeseen, I'd be willing to bet that all 42 members of the Manhattanville soccer team were unable to make the trip.
So shout out to whatever gentleman did not get to make the journey. Hope you gentlemen are watching from home on our wonderful broadcast.
Good defense there from Cam Welsh working up against Scanapiaco. Scanapiaco able to win that battle, but a solid defensive effort from the Mount. And it'll go all the way back at Sivio, almost right at the midfield line, towards the near sideline, gets it back towards the middle of the field. It's Rojas. Rojas with Bakiaki on his right. Gets it to Bakiaki, gets it to now, it's Kenneth Suki. Suki back to Rojas. Rojas to Bakiaki. Bakiaki gets it all the way back for A.J. Lucas, and the Valiants just opt to go from scratch here.
Definitely a very, very slow style here, taking as much time as they need. They don't want to force anything.
Of course. And again, if the Knights aren't going to pressure, I mean, if you're Manhattanville, you're taking what you're given. And now I feel like that begs the question, 15 minutes into the first half, not much offense really for either side, particularly Mount St. Mary. How long do you let that sort of leaving them unattended, how long do you let that last for before you go put some pressure on? As that pass up ahead, the intended target, Velasquez Osorio, just out of his reach. Horn wraps it up with ease.
Well, Coach Longacre already vocal on the sideline here. So I presume Kevin is telling his boys to change up the plan a little bit, communicate more. So I would assume now is the time that you stop letting that happen.
I mean, that would make sense. I mean, Sivio, Bakiaki, and Rojas, they have their little picnic. It seems at the start of every possession. And I respect it. I mean, they're clearly trying to set up the offense through their defensive three. Not yet to any avail, and we might see it again here as Lucas debates what to do with the ball. He'll just leave it short for Manuel Morales. Manuel will leave it for Aiden Sivio. So Mazzarelli now does put some pressure on. A laser from Sivio just out of reach of Scanapiaco. Out of play.
Have you ever seen that Simpsons clip where Homer goes to a soccer game and it's just like 3 guys who just keep passing it and you see the announcer?
I've
And
not
you talk
seen
about it and Homer's just like, boring.
I've definitely heard that soundbite.
That's what it reminds me of right now.
Well, clearly a very methodical brand of soccer for Manhattanville.
Certainly. The movement up the wings, one might call liquid. Very, very fluid. Coming from each wing side. Manhattanville comfortable to be spraying the ball to any part of the field.
I mean, this Valiant's last line of defense, I mean, from left to right, it would be Sivio, Rojas in the middle, and then Bakiaki all the way at the far right. I mean, these guys have time to make a sandwich. I mean, there's zero pressure whatsoever, at least so far from the mount. I mean, of course, there's always risks in pressing someone deep in their own end, but there really hasn't been any defensive presence at all, at least towards the back three. Now here's Welsh with a step. He's guarded by Scanapiaco. He'll leave it for Wallace. Wallace picked up by Sarango. Now it's Wallace again. Him and Alex Rojas collide. Here's Tynan. Rifles one across the field. Mark gets a foot on it, able to body that up. He's picked up by Bakiaki. Bakiaki guarding Mark, able to deflect that one. Lucas tries to keep it in play, cannot, and it'll be the first corner kick of the contest for the Mount.
Well, Mark to stand over here in the far corner. Little white spot in the very middle of your screen, as far as ways he can get. A lot of white bodies moving their way in here. I presume something towards the back post. I'm seeing a symbol from his hands, so something off the training ground is going to come out here, Lucas.
Hughes and Wallace back towards midfield. Everyone else packed towards the box. Mazzarelli and Hoffman both leap for it. The ball misses both of them. good effort from Keyser to try and corral the ball. Can't quite. Coming on now, number 5, J.C. Gutierrez, coming on in relief of Jack Hoffman.
Quick substitution coming here from Kevin Longacre. Not usually one to change up the lineup too frequently, as he's told me before. Don't change up a whole ton of stuff. Usually just let the boys ride, but seems to be he's having a bit of a different change of heart here.
I mean, might as well. I mean, I don't want to say if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but I mean, it's 0-0. Not much has happened. I mean, why not change up things a little bit? Just give your team a shot in the arm. Falling now.
Welsh gets pickpocketed.
Welsh falls, no whistle, on we play. Good sliding effort there from Wallace.
Huge. Wow. Phenomenal play from the freshman there to get that slide tackle and get the deflection out for a throw and get to reset the offense here. Impressive stuff in the first years here early on. And I have to say, I'm enjoying this.
It's a theme for all the men's games we do. I mean, the Knights youth movement really has been legit.
Certainly has. I would certainly agree. And
Allison,
the majority of the lineup is actually quite young.
Allison rifles that one towards the Knights bench, out of play. 20 minutes into the first half, your score, the Knights nothing, the Valiants nothing. Now here's Rojas. Gutierrez in the vicinity, but again, no face guarding yet from Mount. Here's Scanapiaco. Gets that one to, well, the ball is just clearly good ball movement now from Manhattanville. That one taken away by Allison. Mazzarelli now quickly swarmed by 3 men in maroon. Gutierrez gets the ball. The Knights just have to get it out of their own end. Gets it back to Mazzarelli. That pass ahead of Keyser. Keyser able to run it down. Leaves it for Mark. Working it almost exactly the midfield line. Comes now back towards the middle of the field. It's Marco Mazzarelli almost exactly at midfield. That pass picked off. Picked off a second time by Allison. The Knights just looking to maintain possession. No whistle as Alec Pineda hit the deck. Here's Mark now with a step. Gets it to Gutierrez. Working it backwards now.
Some great movement from the Knights now on this ball, trying to get themselves going here on offense.
And the Knights, who have not had the ball for very long, you're right, Bob, just making a conscious effort. Now, I mean, obviously you always want to be careful with the ball, but for a team that has not had the ball a whole lot to start the contest, the Knights are being extra careful.
Certainly are being careful, but you're also starting to see just a few more runs coming up from our center backs here. Allison's made a few. Wallace has made a few from the wing. So you're definitely seeing a little bit of a line push from the Mount as they've gotten themselves more comfortable in the first 20.
Mazzarelli gets a head on it, but again, it's Manhattanville that's coming away with the ball. So, I mean, Manhattanville has certainly dominated time of possession, but there hasn't been anything overwhelming about their game, at least so far. But for so far, the entirety of the first half, it feels like the Knights have just been on their heels.
Absolutely has. Being mesmerized by this back play so frequently. The Mount, I think, have just been making sure they're not going to give up anything dumb here early on. Or I wouldn't say dumb, but they just don't want to give up a goal to a passing-heavy style. Of course, I do remember Tynan telling you that they're a very, very structured passing team.
That would check out as that first shot on net. Horn able to knock it up and over the net. Bakiaki blisters one from just outside the box, but Noah Horn turns aside. That one, the first shot on goal for either side.
Wasn't expecting that. And Horn, a 5'9" goalkeeper. Not frequently do you see goalkeepers on the shorter side. Not to call the gentleman short. All loved Noah. But very impressive for him to get up there and tip that ball over the bar to avoid any sort of conflict.
And Horn has played quite well for the Knights. I mean, I feel like his name comes up fairly often when you do these games. But he's allowed 2 goals over his last 4 contests.
Great punch out there. Clearance from the Knights. And yes, he's been extremely, extremely consistent. Love to watch some Horn gameplay at all times.
So Mazzarelli, the Knights just have to find a way to get the ball out. They've played good enough interior defense, but for whatever reason, Bob, the ball just always finds the Valiants.
It certainly does, and they're very consistent. They're very, very soft on their touch, and usually that will result in the ball being held in your possession longer because they're not letting these loose and second ball chances get away from them.
Sivio, Rojas, Bakiaki, surely somewhere. The triads, the Valiant's triad of killing time.
Time wasting, as those in the business would call it.
Back at it.
And to reference your point earlier, Mr. Noah Horn with a 7.8 save percentage, .78 to be exact, and allowing less than a goal a game. So it's pretty darn good for our single netminder who has no backups.
He's answered the call.
And I would actually be very intrigued to, if I could just talk to Coach Longacre on the side. Who in the world would our emergency goalkeeper be?
Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that, as there's another bug in the broadcast booth. If you've been here for both games, you'll know that was a recurring theme for the first one. Good effort there from Welsh to pick that pass off. Keyser corrals it. Ball goes across the midfield circle. It's fielded by Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli sends it back deep. It's Hughes. Hughes for Bevavino. Bevavino for Allison. Allison for Wallace, and the core four in full swing. Beautiful counterclockwise ball movement for the Mount. That one stays in play. Coming away with it as of right now is Manhattanville. That one ends up out of play near the Valiant's bench, and it'll stay that direction. Thrown all the way in, it's Sivio for Rojas. And Bob, sit and get comfortable.
You're telling me. I'm going to lean back in the chair here, and we'll await some action.
Some ping pong between Sivio and Rojas. Just having a catch. Gutierrez now comes in, forces a pass. They get it to Scanapiaco. Scanapiaco gets a step on Welsh, moves in. White closes in. Good, beautiful pass up ahead. Wrapped up by Horn. The intended target, Velasquez Osorio. He had a step, the pass just a little too far out of reach.
Just a little bit. I don't know if he was expecting that ball to get to him all the way. If he would have stuck a foot out, he might have had a chance there.
Nicely done threading the needle, but nothing comes to pass. 20 minutes counting down. It has been an incredibly smooth first half so far. Not a particularly exciting one, but no stoppages or anything of that nature so far.
No fouls. A very, very stark contrast to our Sarah Lawrence game where it seemed to be there was whistle every few minutes.
So both teams just strictly business so far this afternoon. Here's Rojas, deep in their own end, working from about the middle of the field. Gets it to Bakayaki.
That's a good one, too.
Bakayaki's a fun one.
Sounds like a
Allison falls, has some trouble with it. That gets Kenneth Suki. That allows him to at least field the ball. See if the Valiants have time to set something up. Tries to put the moves on Hughes. Hughes unimpressed. Getting tripped up is Lucas Fernandez. The referees quickly take note. And so on comes a free kick for the Valiants. And assuming this is spotted where it should be, do you take a shot here?
Just early in the contest, I don't know. If you have someone on your team that's keen enough to take it and can hit that, I would say yes. Seeing a four-man wall, I believe, unless there's a fifth man tucked in that I can't see.
It appears to be four. Now it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it is still four. The referee just directing them to the appropriate location.
Of course, I believe I see two defenders and two forwards in there, so they're allowing for deflection to get ricocheted out. For a forward to chase down in case that does happen. But for, obviously, Horn preparing for a shot.
As of right now, Manuel Morales and Alessio Scanapiaco both in line to take the shot. It looks like it'll be Morales. There are four Valiants right now within the confines of the box. Two more just outside. Morales sends it away. It will be a shot. Horn leaves. That one rattles off the side of the cage and stays out. Good clearing effort there from J.C. Gutierrez.
Wow.
That one blistered off the side of the net, hits the post, goes wide to the right, and we're still scoreless.
Can't hit it much better than that. He just hardly missed it. Horn might have gotten away with one there.
That ball certainly well struck, rattles off the side of the cage, and luckily it stayed out. Here's Sarongo, does a good job creating space. That one deflected in front. Horn dives. That one would have ended up to the left of the net, but it hit a night before it got there, so Horn just keeping it in play prevents the corner kick. Another goal kick for Horn. Two Valiants in the area, no pressing defense yet. Horn thought about rolling it, changes his mind. Now we'll just send it away. Mazzarelli in the area. The 6'4" Sivio gets a head on at first. Still loose, nobody's ball yet. Morales now corrals it right around midfield. He'll get it to Bakayaki.
An intriguing matchup on the queue here, recovering from his very light injury and brief injury, Jeremy Burgos, the 6'5" forward, to be matching up with the 6'4" Sivios.
And I think now you have to play the matchup, and for as prevalent as Sivio has been, I know he's on defense, but he's ended up with the ball almost every possession. And now with speed, it's Fernandez. It's Pineda. Leaves it for Scanapiaco. Scanapiaco fires. Horn knocks it away.
Woo! Big save from Horn. That was one heck of a curler. That was for certain falling into the nylon there. Horn saves a surefire goal.
Horn knocks it away, and he's fired up. Big save there, keeps it scoreless. Two substitutions now for the Valiants. Number 18, Jacob Matza, and number 19, Nico Del Vescovo come on. And Bob, as you had mentioned, the 6'5" Jeremy Burgos comes off his brief stint on the injured list, back in the contest, back on the field for the Mount.
Of course, nothing official, but last time I spoke to him, he said he has some sort of nagging injury, but he's back and healthy, happily.
Corner kick for the Valiant, sending it into a sea of white and maroon. Sivio gets a head on it, diving stop from Horn.
Huge stop from Horn. Back-to-back saves from Horn. He's fired up, keeping his boys calm. He's having himself one heck of a first half here.
And Bob, as you mentioned, Burgos standing at 6'5", an extremely talented player and likely out there to counter the 6'4" Aiden Sivio.
Well, certainly, though, he is man-marking on the opposite half of Sivio, so we'll have to see how that turns out once the ball gets into the attacking third.
I would assume at least for the interior defense. I mean, you don't need Burgos face guarding him the length of the field. Now here's Tynan, that one left for the goalkeeper. Tynan looked a lot closer to the ball than he actually was, but now the Knights opting for some pressure. Tynan guarding Lucas. Lucas can just pick it up. Won't. Leaves it for Rojas around the middle of the field. He's guarded by Gutierrez. Gutierrez to Sivio. That pass picked off by Welsh. And so for the first time today, the Knights have interrupted the Valiant's picnic on defense, and so far it's worked.
Certainly, though, Coach Longacre not happy with that last possession there, but the pressure is certainly coming out from the Knights, so we'll have to see if they continue keeping that up through the rest of this half here.
Sliding effort from Hughes. Lucas Fernandez able to maintain control of the ball. Gets it to Sarango out towards the top of the box. Tries to create separation between him and Bevavino. Bevavino sliding effort. Can't knock it loose. Manuel Morales gets it towards the far side. Finds its way inside. Ground ball for Horn. Wraps that one up fairly easily. Stays 0-0.
And Horn, once again, keen to come out of his box, as I always say. Come off his line, I should say. He's very, very quick to the jump. Very active, proactive goalkeeper.
Horn punts it away. Will land, it looks like in the midfield circle. Tynan gets a head on it. Karen's behind him. Mark falls. There's a whistle. Free kick coming for them out.
And some words coming from the Manhattanville side. They don't seem too happy. Though not much of a testy matchup so far, so probably just some words of encouragement for the Claret and White.
Trio of Manhattanville coaches just to the left of this golf cart.
Sean Riley, Luis Granados, Shamir Mullins, and Tim Marshall. It's a large bench.
Sean Riley, the third-year head coach, and his 3 assistants. Hughes able to pick that one off. Tried to get it to Burgos, does so successfully. Burgos puts the moves on, takes a hit, no whistle. Hughes' sliding effort ends up out of play. The referee signaled this one will go the way of the Valiants.
Heavy shoulder there. Shocked that was considered clean, though there was no extended arm.
So I feel like for the most part, I mean, at least in this game, maybe it's just not applicable, but there have not been many stoppages. I feel like that Knights free kick, I mean, I'm sure there's been a few I'm missing, but it hasn't been a theme. Good pass up ahead. Scanapiaco, good defense. Takes it away from Mark. Gets it now to Mazza. That one taken away. It's Wallace. Wallace now for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli leaves it back deep. It's Gutierrez. Gutierrez with room to work. Gutierrez up ahead. Good move on Sarango. Create separation. That shot.
Deflected. Going to fall to play for a corner kick. So a little bit of excitement here. Mount getting themselves some pressure, getting themselves some chances on offense at last after a 30 minutes of a lot of siege defending.
Second corner kick of the contest now for the Mount.
Mr. Gutierrez stepping up to the spot. Our very own Mr. Olympico. We'll have to see what he comes up with here.
Gutierrez, if you remember, I can't believe I don't remember which game it was. It might have been SUNY Delhi.
It was Delhi.
It was Delhi. Gutierrez scored an impressive goal from the corner. He'll fire this one away into a sea of people. It's still loose in front. The referee will call it out of bounds. That one ended up out behind the end line. I believe this will be a goal kick for the Valiants.
Very emphatic call from the referee. Looked like he was signaling a first down in football there.
And so the referee makes his presence felt, as referees tend to do in sports nowadays.
Of course.
Working with it now is Manuel Morales. Gets it to Sivio. Sivio rifles that one upfield. With a step, it's Del Vescovo. He keeps it inbounds. Sliding effort there from Wallace. Knocks it out of bounds. He wants it to go the way of the Knights. Will not get the call. Throw in coming for the maroon and black.
Darn good slide tackle. The kid's having himself one heck of a day on this right wing right in front of us.
Manhattanville to throw it in. Do so. Knocked down by Scanapiaco.
Protests from Mazzarelli, believing he won that throw-in. Going to repeat this process probably a few times if I could take a guess.
Scanapiaco's pass inside, Del Vescovo. It reaches him, but he's unable to corral it. Quickly swarmed by a sea of white. Rifles that one towards the net, high and wide. Taking that shot, number 8, Kenneth Suki. That one not particularly close.
Field goal is no good. 3 points is not valid.
I assume that will go down in the books as a shot, but will not be a shot on goal. 3 shots on goal for Manhattanville, none so far for the Mount.
Not a great start on the offensive half. Definitely want to at least find a shot on goal for the Mount before the end of the half.
So Mazzarelli able to come away from the press. Manhattanville pressing Horn early. Suki overruns Mazzarelli. The Knights perhaps catching a break there. Sivio takes that one away. Mazzarelli takes that one away from Sivio.
That's one heck of a move by Mazzarelli. Gets cut down in half. Oh dear, that's dirty.
Mazzarelli guarded by Sarango. Sarango takes down Mazzarelli. The referee signals it the way of the Valiants. And Bob, I'm not sure he got that one right.
You don't think he got that one right? You don't think that was a foul?
I don't think the referee, I mean, it was 100% a foul. I'm saying it shouldn't have been on Mazzarelli. Oh, no, it wasn't. I am completely caught up.
I got a tad bit confused here. Anywho,
my mistake.
Bevavino taking a pretty hefty run up here. Will boot this ball as hard as he can.
I'm still in the mode from earlier today where the women opened, the women's soccer team, the women's Knights, they opened the game going left to right. Or sorry, they opened the game going right to left, so I just assumed him pointing that direction. My directions are really bad right now. It's been a long day.
Happens to the best of us. It has been a long day. A lot of talking.
We are under 10 minutes to play. This is Bob and I, our third half of broadcasting. Of course, if you're just now joining us, the Lady Knights took a 1-0 win earlier today.
Heads up play from our baseball guys in the booth. Sorry.
The youngins getting some work in.
Shout out the first years.
Morales now working it along the midfield line, gets it to Sarango. Sarango picked up by Keyser, quickly gets rid of it. It's Bevavino on the takeaway. Bevavino to Tynan. Mazzarelli now with room to work on midfield. He'll be picked up by Suki. Mazzarelli gets it away. It's Burgos now with a step. Rojas in pursuit. Burgos corrals it, face guarded by number 6, Rojas. Burgos gets around. Tried to get that to Tynan towards the middle of the field. Tynan gets a foot on it anyway, able to work his way around. Not much help. That is Allison. No, it's Bevavino getting a foot on it. Allison right next to him. Wallace fires that one inside. That one may have been deflected. Loose in front. Mazzarelli falls again. The referee won't bite. Sivio and Rojas. Tea time.
Seem to be some arms, this and that.
Suki, Mazzarelli gets a shove in. The second guy always gets caught.
Tad bit of frustration from Mazzarelli. He's going to have to maintain that one going into this next 45. But, of course, just damage prevention going through this last 8, so no big deal.
So, both sides, I don't want to say damage control because nobody's really winning.
Well, damage prevention.
Damage prevention, that's more two sides of the same coin. That's more so the term I was looking for. Thank you, Bob.
Damage prevention before you have to go into damage control.
Right, nothing. The Valiants, a couple of shots on goal. Not much other than that. Noah Horn has made a few good saves.
2 very nice ones on some long shots that the Manhattanville Valiants have been keen to take.
Throw in coming now for Manhattanville. And ladies and gentlemen, for this doubleheader, if you're a fan of defense, this has been the weekend for you.
Certainly has.
1-0 final in the first game today.
Oh, come on.
And that one, incredibly blatant. Nico Del Vescovo takes Mazzarelli down by the jersey. Del Vescovo pleading his case. Nobody in the stands is fooled. And Mazzarelli, one of 3 captains for the Knights, he's taken a beating so far.
He certainly has. They're pushing him around like a rag doll, but he is keen to take on any sort of challenge. Kid's tough as nails. So if anyone didn't notice, Mr. Horn came out of his net to come give some words to the opposing Valiants, which I presume is a mental tactic.
That one, that foul pretty blatant. It's a rightfully awarded a yellow card. You predicted that correctly. And Mazzarelli, of course, means a lot to this Knights team. And we've talked about he's one of 3 captains. And you mentioned just involved on campus, just an all-around good guy. And definitely one of the bona fide leaders on this Knights team.
Good lad and leading goal scorer on the team with 4 goals. Closest behind him, Jeremy Burgos with 2 goals.
Also my RA this year. Fun fact.
Impressive stuff to maintain that and be a full-time soccer player.
A full-time soccer player of his caliber, I might add. As Allison now with a step and some room to work. Allison tries to get it inside. It's Tynan now on a break. Tynan corrals it. Lucas diving effort. Able to knock it down.
Well, the best attempt the Knights have seen here in these last 40 minutes. Just hardly gets away from Tynan, but definitely good signs from the Knights going into the second half.
And that's number 00, AJ Lucas. A soaring effort to fall on that one. Putting out the threat even before it starts to come to fruition. That is a good sign for the Knights, though. As you mentioned, the first time today, the Knights have really been able to get the ball in deep, with the exception of corner kicks. As Sivio rifles that one upfield, giving chase Del Vescovo. Him and Allison in a foot race. Del Vescovo will win it. Allison knocks it out of bounds. A throw-in for Manhattanville coming from deep in their own third. Coming on now for the Valiants, number 23, Oliver Tekapelta. Tekapelta will come on for Sarango.
Tekapetla. There we go. That is quite a name as well. That's pretty cool.
A lot of interesting last names on this Manhattanville roster.
Quite a diverse campus of names coming from Manhattanville, I must say.
That ball thrown in by Scanapiaco. Loose in front, centering pass. There's nobody home. Giving chase is Suki. Guarded tightly by Tynan. Tynan able to come away with the ball. Suki poke check, keeps it alive. Tynan overruns it. Tynan now takes back what is rightfully his. Second guy always gets caught. That'll be a whistle. Free kick coming now for Manhattanville.
Wee bit of a shove from Mr. Tynan there on that far sideline. Bit of a battle going on for that ball. Nothing out of the ordinary for this first half. Getting it just a tad bit testy towards the end here.
And so, Bob, you're usually our free kick expert. I believe this will be a free kick. And this one feels a little far to put on the net.
Most certainly. He's probably just going to drop one that's going to be backspinning up in the air. Probably just try and drop one over the penalty spot, see what they can find.
So it will not be Morales taking the free kick. Instead, it will be, I believe, number 9, Lucas Fernandez. Morales there, what appears to be as a safety blanket. Fernandez, low line drive, tried to set something up inside to no avail.
Seems to be hit that just a tad bit wrong.
Bakiaki gets it to Fernandez. Fernandez picked up by Gutierrez. Mazzarelli gets a body in front of him, can't get a body on the ball. That one bouncing around a couple of times, knocking it down now, leaving it for Valdescobo, gets a shot on, and he scores. Good shot there. That's number 19, Nico Del Vescovo. So he makes up for that yellow card, tucks one into that back left corner of the net, and the Valiants are out to a 1-0 lead.
Very, very well placed shot just beyond the reaching fingers of Horn. A little bit of tic-tac-toe there off of the rebound, and the Valiants find themselves a goal off of their hard work from this first half.
So the Valiants, they've had a few good opportunities early on. They're finally able to cash in on one in what would be, I believe, the 41st minute. So 4:25 left to play here in the first half. The Valiants take an early one, or not so much an early, but they take a 1-0 advantage. And with the way the game has gone so far, and the opportunities the Valiants have had, and the lack of opportunities the Knights have had, you feel like that was bound to happen eventually.
Definitely seems like the writing was on the wall there, as the Valiants have tallied up to 4 shots on goals, and number 4 was the winner.
So lucky number 4 for the Valiants, and they're not done yet. Coming on with speed, and now changing his mind is number 23, Teko Petla. Gets it to Sivio. Sivio gets it to Scanapiaco, who gets it to... I can't keep up with all this. Everybody's names are so hard to pronounce, and they're just...
Del Vescovo, the goal scorer for today. His bright green boots.
So Del Vescovo finds himself on both ends of the spectrum, the only guy in the game with a yellow card, but also the only guy in the game with a goal. Sometimes you're going to find that with aggressive strikers, and often they're going to play hard, but they're also going to get you goals. So it's a give and take. An ebb and flow, as they would say. So it's Rojas and Sivio. They're having a nice picnic. That one gets up ahead to Suki. Suki corrals it along the near sideline, able to keep it inbounds. That one ends up out of play in front of the Manhattanville bench. Suki leaves it for Del Vescovo. Del Vescovo with a step. That one goes off of Gutierrez. Mazzarelli able to corral it. Some physicality here from Manhattanville. Del Vescovo, both hands up, trying not to get busted a second time. That one ends up out of play along the near sideline. It'll be a throw-in now for them out.
So crawling into this last 45 here, Del Vescovo is going to have to be careful already on a yellow. It would be detrimental to the squad to pick up a red.
The throw intended for Burgos. I don't think Burgos got a body on it.
Seems to be bounced off a shoulder of a Valiant and went straight into the golf cart right here on the sideline.
Scanapiaco, I believe they'll ring him up for that ball going out of bounds. The referees position Wallace in the appropriate spot for the throw-in. Gets it to Burgos. Burgos at 6'5", corrals out fairly easily over the 5'6" Kanasuki.
Not much of a matchup there.
An impressive throw-in up ahead. Del Vescovo opts not to play it off of bounds, beats Allison. Good defense there from Bevavino to get it out of harm's way. Out of play. We're approaching the 2-minute warning here in the first half. Your score 1-0 Manhattanville. The inverse of the contest earlier today. A whistle.
Late whistle.
The call unknown.
Seems to be some pushing was had here.
Free kick coming now for Manhattanville. It's Manuel Morales. Morales leaves it back deep for Rojas. Rojas for Morales. Morales, good job threading the needle there. Good first touch there from Matza. All the way back to Sivio. Sivio, Coach Longacre on the sideline telling his guys that they need something here. And Bob, he's not wrong.
Certainly, they got to go out and grab a pass, go deflect one, anything. They got to get themselves going in these last 60 seconds. They can't let this half get lulled into an end.
That one sent towards the net. Leaping effort from Wallace, can't get a body on it. That one's corralled by Scanapiaco along the end line. Wallace able to take it away. Gets it to Wallace, gets hit. Turns it over. Wallace down and appears to be in some pain. Horn going to check on him. So the senior goalkeeper checking up on his star freshman defenseman.
Pavino will be keen to take this. He'll boot this as hard as he can towards the midfield, most likely at Burgos' head.
The clock was not stopped there, so there's 25 seconds and counting down. I assume now the Knights will just be on damage control heading into the half. And now here's Hughes working with it along the far sideline. Rifles that one upfield. Getting a foot on it is Morales. Getting another foot on it is Keyser as he tries to push it up ahead for the Knights. Mark gets a foot on it. The Valiant's looking to get it out. Sliding on it is Lucas. He'll hang on to it, and that'll take us into halftime. At the end of the first half, the Manhattanville Valiants won, the Mount St. Mary Knights nothing. And even though the score is only 1-0, Bob, it feels like Manhattanville has a pretty solid grasp on this one.
Certainly, it seems like they're trying to lull their opponents to sleep here. Very, very pass-heavy defense and defensive third. So the Mount are going to have to find a way to get some pressure on them and not allow them to play the game they want to be playing.
So your score 1-0 going into the half. Bob and I will be back for the second half of action in 14 minutes and 38 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be back for the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the second half of action between the Manhattanville Valiants and the Mount St. Mary Knights. If you're just now joining us, Manhattanville leads 1-0 at the break. And the Knights, the home team, a lot of uphill work to do. 64-36, the approximation of the time of possession, in favor of Manhattanville. 7 total shots for the Valiants, 5 of them on target, compared to 1 total shot for the Mount. That one was not on target. So if you're Bob, Manhattanville, the score is only 1-0, but the Valiants seem to have a stranglehold on this one, or at least that's how it felt through the duration of the first half. If you're Coach Longacre and the Knights, what are you doing to get back in it here in the second half?
You just got to increase the work rate and tell them you got to maintain pressure. More pressure this half, nothing but pressure. I mean, at this point, you just got to unload the mag and empty the tank.
So the Knights, we were talking, at stake for them, a 3-game winning streak, the latter 2 games being conference wins. The Knights sit unbeaten in conference at 2-0-1. The Valiants, of course, not far behind them at 1-0-1.
Certainly always means more when it's a conference matchup, as we always say.
Leo Marcella at midfield wearing number 12, his first appearance in tonight's contest. Marcella quickly kicked out of the circle. Doing the honors now appears to be Manuel Morales, number 10. The Valiants kicking it away, and Bob, it's time to party. An interesting strategy there. I have never seen that.
Huh.
And so in lieu of passing it to someone at midfield, the Valiants just hammered out of bounds to what I can only assume is to try and force a turnover on the throw-in, and that would create an easy opportunity.
That's precisely what it is, yes. That's a part of a high work rate, high pressing tactic. You saw this past year for ball watchers, Paris Saint-Germain, who won the Champions League, did that a lot. Force a lot of throw-ins and try and get the ball back off of them.
Interesting. And I assume Manhattanville, 1-0, obviously the one goal is the narrowest of margins, but the scoreboard is a little more generous in terms of how game the close has been in comparison to actually watching the full 45 minutes. Manhattanville has just felt dominant, at least through the first half.
They certainly have. They have not let up. They have not let their boot up off of the throats of the Knights, so the Knights are going to have to try and get up off the turf here and make something happen.
Morales fits that one inside. It's Fernandez. Fernandez guarded by Tynan. Tynan, hands behind his back, has that one rifled off the shins. It'll go out of play.
It looks already off the first minute here. The Valiants are coming out with a much more aggressive strategy while they're up a goal.
The Valiants smell blood in the water, and an aggressive on offense. That is not what we saw for a portion of the first half. We're talking about the defensive picnic, at least with Sivio and number 6, Alex Rojas. The Valiants were very methodical on offense, very slow to get possession started.
So there's a great run here from the attacking 3
Mark,
of the Knights.
Beautiful pass across the field intended for Welsh. She's quickly picked up by Fernandez. Fernandez, good job on the poke check. Him and Rojas both in pursuit, and it's Fernandez able to come away with it. Fans to our left are cheering for Lucas. I can only assume they're cheering for me, as opposed to number 9, Lucas Fernandez.
One would hope, of course.
The hard part about having a fairly common name is you hear it a whole bunch. So anytime anybody says Lucas, regardless of who they're talking to, obviously I'm just going to assume they're talking to me.
Of course.
And especially in a case where they have good things to say about the Lucas in question, I will gladly take all of the credit.
Got to.
Why not?
What you gotta do.
Why not? Now Sivio playing catch at midfield with Morales. Now he boots it well upfield, giving chase is number 28, maybe? It's either 20 or 28. My eyesight is not great, as we alluded to in the first broadcast.
It's 28.
That is number 28, so I was correct.
Attaboy.
Griffin Van Cott, a 6'1 defenseman.
Intriguing. Playing forward.
So Horn to boot it away. Thought about what he wanted to do with the ball. Now just sends it downfield. Sends it for Welsh. Welsh takes a hard hit from behind. And the referee notices. Free kick coming for the Mount right around midfield.
Still very aggressive on the ball. The Valiants are through these first 5 minutes. They've definitely flipped a switch here, looking to strike as soon as they can.
Gutierrez gets it to Tynan. Tynan working from just outside the top of the box. Leaves it for Mark in the middle. Mark with a little bit of separation. Fires just wide.
Ooh, that was a very hard hit ball. Wow.
So
Not gonna
Mark,
get that one back.
Mark manages to beat the goalkeeper, A.J. Lucas. The shot ends up just to the left of the net. Lucas didn't get a finger on it, so it will be out of bounds on Mark. Goal kick coming.
Had him fully beat there, just couldn't put it quite on frame.
And it's Lucas in the backfield in the Three Musketeers of wasting time. He'll leave it now. It's Morales. Morales rifles that one upfield. Getting a foot on it is Van Cott. Van Cott falls. No whistles. Gutierrez, impressive effort from the ref to get out of the way. Mazzarelli now with a step. Leaves it for, that's Welsh on the far side of your screen. Welsh inside, has it poked away. It'll be out of bounds. I believe a goal kick coming now for Manhattanville.
Welsh did lose that. It's going to be a goal kick for Manhattanville. Much more aggressive start from the Knights. They're looking far better than they did in the first 45, I have to say.
What do you think went into that meeting at halftime? If you're Coach Longacre, what are you telling the guys at half?
I think you're just telling them you got to up the work right here. You got to go earn it, you know? Nothing's going to come to you when a team is controlling the ball this well like the Valiants are.
Fernandez leaves it for Bakayaki. Bakayaki rifles back towards midfield. Allison comes away with it. He's guarded tightly by two Valiants. Gutierrez able to get it away, work it away. Gets it to Tynan, who gets it to Wallace, and the Knights are going to try and start from scratch. Wallace works it past, gets it into the Valiant side of midfield, forced to retreat, working it back into the Knights' own end. Here's Tynan. Tynan crosses midfield, has a little bit of room to work. In pursuit is Marcella. Marcella forces a pass, and it will end up towards the net. A.J. Lucas. Jeremy Burgos comes in to check on him. Now here's Lucas. Clearly in no rush to get rid of the ball. Places it back down. It'll be a goal kick. Burgos comes in for at least some pressure. Working with it now is Alex Rojas. There's TJ Mark towards the bottom left of your screen, anticipating a pass to Bakayaki. That pass never came. Sam Bevino, good job wearing that one off the top of his head. Good defense there. Now here's the Valiants. It's Sivio on the far end of the midfield circle. Working with it now, I believe that's Fernandez. That is not Fernandez, that's number 2, Skinipiaco. Burgos now guarded by Sivio. All the way back, it's Welsh. Welsh gets it to Tynan. Tynan now for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli outside the midfield circle. Incoming pressure, it's Marcella. Mazzarelli, good job shaking the oncoming attack, but he's forced to retreat deeper and deeper into his own end. Leaves it now for Allison. Coming to check on him is Van Cott. Up all the way ahead, it's Welsh on the far side of your screen.
An intriguing switch right in front of us, unless there's just a rotation that happened. Bevavino is now at fullback and Hughes is at center back.
So the Knights, a little changing of the guard. Coach Longacre appears to have shaken things up, which he is not known to do, Bob. You were telling me.
I do remember him saying he doesn't make a whole ton of changes, but he's definitely playing a little bit out of character here, trying to find something new to get the boys started, want to maintain the winning streak.
A mid-air collision between Mark and Rojas. Rojas wanted a little more than just a foul there. The referee hears him out, but the call does not change. Free kick coming, it's Rojas. Rojas just leaves it short, it'll be Sivio.
There we go.
A pretty predictable outcome. Sivio gets it all the way back for Lucas. That ball stays just outside the box, so he won't be able to use his hands.
Whoa.
Has to get creative with it. Has now left the office entirely. Rifles that one upfield, and now he has to get back into the net. He does. The Valiants do a good enough job maintaining possession to allow Lucas to get back to where he needs to be. Tynan guarded tightly by Velasquez Osorio. Velasquez Osorio hits the deck, but the Valiants maintain the ball. Here's Fernandez upfield. Van Cott giving chase, guarded tightly by Wallace. Van Cott will chase it towards the end line. Good job keeping it in bounds. Wallace gets a foot on it, knocks it out of play towards the far sideline. Throw in coming now for the Valiants. Gets it to Velasquez Osorio. Velasquez Osorio can't quite corral it. It'll be out of play off of him. It'll now go the way of the Knights. Valiants is an interesting mascot.
I do like that.
They might be, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they might be the only team in the Skyline whose mascot is an adjective.
Yeah.
I think so.
You have Sarah Lawrence Griffins, you have the Mount St. Mary College Knights, have Yeshiva Maccabees.
Noun.
Yep. You have, I'm trying to think of all the teams off the top of my head.
Dolphins, noun.
Which ones are the Dolphins?
St. Vincent.
Yes.
The Mariners, Merchant, noun.
Mariners. Who were, what's the Marine Academy? Who are they?
Maritime. Merchant Marine is the Mariners. Maritime is the Privateers.
Yes.
Which I believe is also a noun. So, barring any further fact-checking, the Valiants are the only team in the conference named after an adjective.
I think we got every team in the Skyline. There might be more.
I'm sure there's more.
Purchase College Panthers, Old Westbury Panthers.
Both nouns.
Yep.
Out of play off of Bakayaki. A helicopter now overhead making the rounds.
Most likely a West Point device. Welcome in, gents.
West Point about 20 minutes south of us, I believe.
Right down the river. Down the river and up the mountain.
This helicopter making the rounds, as I'm sure it is becoming increasingly apparent on the broadcast.
Quite a loud device.
As Rojas will leave it for Lucas. Lucas now boots it upfield, a low-line drive well past midfield. A leaping effort from Marcella, but can't corral it. Gutierrez, good job getting his leg up there, able to knock it down. Mazzarelli and Gutierrez both giving chase. Gutierrez yields. Now it ends up at the lap of Hughes. Hughes now loses the ball. Mazzarelli double-teamed, triple-teamed now by Valiance. That one taken away by Van Cott. Van Cott with a step on Allison. Trips, falls, no whistle. A late whistle. And it'll be a free kick now for Manhattanville.
Advantage initially being played, then the white regained possession, so a foul is called here. That's why you get the late whistle. About 30-plus yards. I'd say 35 yards out from the box. We'll see what the Valiants come up with here.
This feels like if the Valiants wanted to put a shot on net here, it feels like they could. Whether or not that's the most optimal decision, I'm not sure.
Morales was keen to shoot last time, though this seems a little far out for him to think about it.
So it is Fernandez and
Morales
commiserating over the ball. There are 5 Valiants in the box. On comes Morales. That is now 6. So the Valiants appear poised to have a play drawn up as opposed to go right for the net. Fernandez gets the all clear, fires that one away. It's a sea of maroon in front of the net. Getting ahead on it is Burgos. Knocked down by Velasquez Osorio. Goes all the way back out to Fernandez to right about where he free kicked it from. Guarded tightly by Gutierrez. Fernandez centering pass for a Valiant that never came. Out of play behind the end line. Goal kick coming.
So an intriguing possession from Manhattanville. The Knights standing tall. And we will resume possession.
Hughes to Mazzarelli to Mark. Pass intended for Gutierrez, picked off by Velasquez Osorio. Beautiful pass inside to Fernandez. Fernandez guarded tightly by Bevavino. He'll leave it for Marcelo. Marcelo fires on net. That one deflected by Hughes. Easy save made by Horn.
So the defense tightened up a little bit more. I think the Knights are going to have to try and get onto the attacking foot here as soon as they can.
And so the Knights, again, Bob, you've mentioned the defense has been quite good through the first 11 minutes of the second half. But that shots on goal column still empty. Now here's Hughes with a step. The Knights do a careful job staying onside. Hughes guarded by Bakayaki. Hughes' pass off Bakayaki, out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Mount somewhere. And it'll be a corner kick because the ball, of course, about behind the end line.
So Mark to stand over it, I believe.
Mark, the usual corner kick taker. At least
or Gutierrez.
One of the two.
Might both stand over it.
Mark took the corner kick earlier in the contest. Gutierrez there either to give advice or just as a safety blanket.
See what comes of it.
The Knights certainly seem positioned to run a play. And they will. Mark sends it towards the middle. Leaping effort, it's Burgos and Sivio both. Sivio falls, but the ball is knocked out of harm's way. Gutierrez tried to get it to Welsh, just out of reach of Welsh. It ends up in the lap of Tynan. Tynan rifles that one back towards the attacking third. The Knights come away with it. Mazzarelli guarded by Fernandez. Mazzarelli falls. That is a foul just outside the box. Free kick coming for the Mount, about 2 yards outside of the goalie box.
A little bit of a sweep coming out from a judo specialist, it seems. So we'll get a off-centered free kick from a little over 20 out.
And we were talking about this early. Mazzarelli has taken a beating today. A lot of hard fouls.
Seems to be a Shaq Amat's day coming from the Valiants.
Yeah.
An intriguing form to go with, but so be it. Tactics are tactics, and we are here because we are not employing the tactics, of course.
So Lucas directing traffic for his wall of Valiants up front.
So we'll see 3 in the wall to try and prevent a shot. We'll see what Gutierrez is keen to go for here.
Tynan just in front of the net, but is surrounded by Valiants. We'll see if Gutierrez puts one on net or leaves one towards the middle. It will be one left towards the middle, goes off the head of Manuel Morales. Welsh had a shot lined up, kicks it straight into the ground. Always tough to kick a ball on a short hop. The Knights are able to maintain possession, but they're working it all the way deep into their own end now. Gutierrez rifles one across the field. Good pass. Welsh.
Great field switch.
Good first touch. That pass lobbed ahead. Burgos. Nice deflection. Now Mazzarelli will work with it. Gets it to Tynan. Tynan's pass for Burgos. That one's picked off. Welsh giving chase. Knocks it down. Can't get around. Velasquez Osorio out of play along the far sideline.
Getting a free kick from that close and not being able to get a shot on goal is definitely not great. That's very, very frustrating for the Knights once again.
Doing the throw-in will be Scanapiaco, number 2, on the far side of your screen. Ball finds its way back to him, deflected by, I believe, Welsh. Now here's Tynan. Tynan rifles that one upfield. Bakiaki and Mark both in pursuit. Both parties back off. It'll be fielded by the goalkeeper, Lucas, who wastes no time getting it upfield to Lucas Fernandez. So Lucas is everywhere on the field in the broadcast booth. Seems to be the most prevalent name of the contest so far. Velasquez Osorio bodies it up, guarded tightly by Mazzarelli. Boots that one upfield, giving chase is Marcella. Wallace has a step on him. Marcella able to come away with it, leaves that one for Fernandez, who gets it back to Scanapiaco. Rifles that one, tried to get it towards the middle of the field. It goes off of Mark, takes a couple of bounces, wrapped up by Horn. Horn, full of emotion as always, fired up.
Give it a little, don't know if that was a taunt towards the Valiant or if that was just a little bit of a word of encouragement towards his fullback for playing a very hard ball there. Nonetheless, ball back in the Mount's possession.
So here's Gutierrez now just outside of the circle. Gutierrez, good nifty move. Looked like it was going to be a double team. The Valiants end up backing off. Sliding effort as well. She pokes that one free. Can Tynan come away with it? No, he cannot. It's Morales. Morales up ahead for Velasquez Osorio. Velasquez Osorio's pass up ahead. Knocked down by Van Cott. Van Cott will leave it back deep for Velasquez Osorio, who rifles that one at Marcella, who wisely just gets out of the way. Horn will field it, and the Knights will try to go coast to coast here. Here's Wallace. Gets it up to Welsh, the first-year connection. Welsh with a little bit of room to work. He'll leave it now for Tynan. The Knights desperately in need of some offense.
Great field switch here.
Mazzarelli. The Knights have done a good job switching the field. They've done that a few times within the last few minutes. But so far, to no avail. There's Marcella giving chase. Good job there from Bevavino. Flicks that one up over his head. Still in the Knights' own end. Gets it to Rojas, and the Valiants will start from scratch.
A lot of keep away being played here by the Valiants as they're trying to press forward to try and nag this goal to ice the game.
And keep away was the theme of the first half. It feels like now, as Rojas passes it to his teammates that have yet to sub in, it'll be a turnover.
Wee bit of a mistake.
Rojas slide tackle. The referee calls it clean. Burgos appears a little bit shaken up. Here's Mazzarelli. Can he keep it in bounds? Yes, he can. Let's see if the Knights can make something happen. Mazzarelli from just outside the box leaves it for Tynan. Tynan works it further back. That's Welsh. Sends that one towards the middle of the field. That was Wallace getting that towards the middle of the field. Welsh was his intended target. Allison flicks it up. Gutierrez guarded by Velasquez Osorio. Velasquez Osorio, the victorious party. That one ends up deep in the Knights' own end. Hughes, good job kicking it out of the Mount St. Mary end. Now here's Mazzarelli with a little bit of speed. Sliding effort from Rojas. Rojas can't knock it away. Sliding effort from Sivio. Second time proves to be the charm. There's Wallace along the far sideline, works it up for Welsh. Welsh tried to get it back to Gutierrez, does so successfully. Gutierrez will leave it for Wallace, who will pass it towards the middle of the field. It's Tynan.
Some much, much better football being moved around here.
Tynan picked up by Van Cott. Now here's Gutierrez with a step. Is he onside? No, he is not. A.J. Lucas was taking no chances, met him outside the box anyway. So that shot high, well over the crossbar. But alas, it didn't matter to begin with. Offside on the field. So no shot on goal, and no goal.
Some much, much better passing coming out from the Mount here. Finally, some movement coming through. Very, very close to their first shot on net there all game.
So with 27 minutes to play, the Knights, it feels like finally putting one foot in front of the other. Now here's Burgos giving chase. Burgos with room. He's onside. Gets a shot off. Diving stop, Lucas.
Brutal, 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 brutal.
Well, the Knights certainly are now putting one foot in front of the other. The best offensive possession followed almost immediately by the Knights' first shot on goal.
Very, very good opportunity for Burgos with a defender draped on top of him. Just hardly getting a shot away there, but Much better look so far from the Knights.
Burgos heavily contested, but a solid effort to be able to get a shot away. So a trio of substitutions for the Valiants. It's Guido Sarango, Oliver Tekopetla, and number 11, Alec Pineda, the three of whom were all members of the starting 11 to open the game. So the Valiants bringing in some fresh legs, around 26 minutes to play.
What in the world just happened
That
there?
one rifled off of Valiant, out of play. The referee blowing the whistle. Both parties moving a little too fast, perhaps. Jack Hoffman and number 20, Sebastian Belinsky, to check into the game for the Mount. Belinsky relieves Mark. Hoffman relieves Burgos.
And some more fresh legs from the daycare coming in here. 20 Belinsky.
Sebastian Belinsky.
Yep.
Belinsky made an appearance the other night. He's certainly established himself as a regular member of this Mount St. Mary rotation.
Oh, certainly. So we'll be seeing what he does off the wing and what Hoffman does here at the number 9.
Hoffman goes to face guard Lucas. The Knights looking to force the pass now, more so than they were in the first half. That one takes a weird bounce off of Tekopetla, fresh into the game. Mazzarelli, cross-field pass. It's Hughes. Hughes has a little trouble with it, able to maintain possession nonetheless. Bevavino and Hughes play catch. Now Hughes gets it to Gutierrez, out past midfield. Gutierrez waltzes it back towards the Knights' own end, leave it for Mazzarelli. Mazzarelli, that is Wallace on the far sideline. It doesn't help that 15 and 16 are both freshmen and both have last names that start with W.
That definitely has been confusing me quite a few times when I see it. I would have to agree.
So Bakyaki's pass, picked off by a leaping Bevavino. Leaping Tynan, wears that one off the temple, but it'll stay in play. Mazzarelli guarded tightly by 2 Valiants, leaves it for Allison, who leaves it for Bevavino. Now it's Belinsky. Belinsky guarded by Rojas. Bakiaki comes in to help. Belinsky just retreats, able to get it out of there unsaved. Now here is Wallace along the far sideline. Hughes calling for the ball, won't get it. Sivio fires that one back to where it came, out of play along the far sideline. Another throw-in for the Mount.
Definitely more intent to score here coming out from the Mount. I am very impressed by the increase of passing and the increase of forward momentum that the Mount has built out of almost nothing at the moment.
23:43 left to play in the game. Manhattanville up 1-0. And eventually, Bob, I mean, you're right, the offense has improved steadily, but in fairness, the Knights haven't really had a choice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a do-or-die sort of ordeal, so it's not really like you can just continue to do what you do when you're down 1.
So that one rifled into Rojas. Rojas wearing that one in the area you never want to wear one.
Definitely not.
That one rifled in. Oh, man. No! And that one is blown offside. That goal won't count.
Oh, no.
And what an insane sequence that was.
Oh, that's a job. Oh, Lucas, no. That was a stunner. You can't do that. Oh, no.
And in one of the craziest 15 seconds you'll ever see, Alex Rojas gets hit below the belt. And now falling is Lucas. This has been an insane 30 seconds.
What is happening?
And so Belinsky to throw it in. Okay, so Rojas wears one off the belt. He deals with it appropriately. And then Cam Welsh, the freshman talent, the freshman phenom, really scores a banger that is immediately blown offside.
Oh, it's tragic.
And then A.J. Lucas goes to clear the ball, trips, and then just rifles it off his teammate. Bob, that is one of the most insane 30 seconds of college soccer you'll ever see.
An ESPN-worthy goal getting ruled off sides is tragic. So Hoffman looks to be in here.
Here's Hoffman with a step guarded by Rojas. Glad to see he's overcome his injury. Lucas pursuing it along the end line, rifles that one out of play. It will be, I believe, a
corner kick?
Yeah,
I can't tell.
Looked like the referee
It seems
signaled
to be
the
a
corner
signal
kick.
for corner kick, so that's what we'll get. Crazy sequence there.
And Bob, you and I have done a handful of games by now. That is probably the most interesting 30 seconds I've seen to date.
It certainly was.
It's certainly up
Man,
there.
that's brutal. That was a one-timer, too. That was an unbelievable goal. That is tragic,
And now,
but we'll have to move on to the next one.
If you're the Knights, I mean, you can't let that take air out of your tires. You think you have the equalizer only for it to get called off. Gutierrez to take the corner kick now that Mark is out of the game. Leaves it for Tynan. Tynan gets a head on it. It's loose in front. Allison gets a foot on it.
Oh.
And it'll roll out harmlessly behind the end line, just to the left of the net, out of play. Coach Longacre wanting some explanations of the ref, from the ref. The Mount parents to the right of the broadcast booth, not happy. I can only assume this is still about the offside call.
Oh, my. I don't know what was just said, but the referee said you cannot say what you just said, and our coach was just given a yellow card. So he must have insulted his mother of some sort, because currently our coach is on a yellow card caution.
So Coach Longacre, certainly some choice words for the referee. Probably for the better. The hot mic didn't pick any of that up.
Thank goodness. I believe there's protests from the Mount side. Their video replay they found is that he was not offsides. I think that's what they were saying.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, there is not replay review at this level of collegiate soccer, but this is broadcasted live. I mean, this footage will be out and available to the public after the game, so I'm sure you and I will take a look at this once this is all said and done.
I mean, of course they have their transformer, so I don't know how fast they can transmit that footage after the fact.
But either way, we'll see if the referees got it right. The hardest part about officiating is they're not always right, but they are never wrong.
Certainly the case.
Bakiaki's pass picked off by Tynan. And the Knights, definitely with the offside call and the ensuing madness, the Knights definitely appear a little flustered.
Just a little bit there. I would also be flustered if a world-class goal got called offsides against me, and all this crazy stuff has been happening in the last minute here. So I think the Knights have to regroup and get back to it.
Good pass up ahead now. It's Hoffman, guarded tightly by Rojas, making a business decision to stay onside. Crossfield pass for Welsh. Not a particularly good one, but it does stay in play. Welsh able to corral it, working it up along the far sideline. Tries to get that one towards the middle of the field. It's Tynan. Tynan, good move to get it past the defender. Tynan's shot, hardly a shot at all. Looked like he was trying to get it to Polinsky. Ends up out of play. And I mean, getting a goal waved off sucks, and obviously getting a goal of that caliber blown off sucks. But now, I mean, one of the hallmarks of a good team is how you respond to adversity.
Of course, and I think the Knights are going to have to hunker down here and go find themselves another one, obviously.
Of course, and I mean, the Knights, the good guys, have every right to be flustered, but of course that shouldn't be the defining moment of the match.
Absolutely not. They always say in football and such that if you're complaining about one moment, then you should have not been able to put yourself in that moment.
I mean, of course, and that goal would have, of course, only been the equalizer, as the Knights still trail by one. The offense has slowly but surely come to fruition, but nothing to show for it as of right now. It's Pineda with a step, has that pass taken away by Gutierrez. Gutierrez gets it to Belinsky, operating near the near sideline. Sliding effort from Gutierrez. Slides into Morales. Gutierrez looking to make a play on the ball. Just caught the shin guards of Morales. The referee blows the whistle.
Giving Gutierrez a chat, letting him know to settle down just a tad bit.
And so the clouds have begun to move in over top of us. Still a pleasant afternoon, just not as sunny as it was.
The forecast is called for just overcast, no rain, so that's nice.
I mean, we'll take it. It's nice. I mean, again, the last two men's games we've done, it either has been actively raining or the constant threat of rain.
Of course, I'm not sweating nearly as bad as before, so that's always nice.
Of course. For the most part, a beautiful day. The women picked up a W earlier. We'll see if the men can come from behind and follow suit. Taking that shot is Pineda. Good sliding effort to block that one from the Mount. With the exception of the one goal, obviously, I mean, the interior defense has been quite good.
Very, very good. They've been holding firm all day this year's. Welsh pickpockets it up the wing, and he gets it off to Tynan.
Now here's Hoffman with a step on Sivio. Hoffman fires that one towards the net. Likely just as a warning, I suppose. Not remotely close, well over the crossbar. And on for the Valiants, the lone goal scorer of tonight's contest, Nico Del Vescovo.
Hoffman certainly keen to get those first-time crosses in. I think he just hit that one a tad bit. A little bit of a long ball he sent away.
A.J. Lucas leaves it for Alex Rojas. Stop me if you've heard this one before.
As those back home can tell, Lucas and I are very keen of the back three in the claret and black.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, of course. I mean, you're winning the game 1-0, so nothing we have to say about it really matters. But it is not a particularly exciting brand of soccer.
No, of course not, but so be it.
If boring wins you games, so be it. Hughes leaves it low. It's Belinsky. Belinsky gets back to Hughes. A chip shot. Hoffman in the area. Giving chase is Rojas. I believe that was last touched by Rojas. The referee agrees.
Gonna bring the throw back just a few feet.
Throw in coming in for the Mount. The referee calls for a quick stoppage so as there are not two balls on the field at one time.
Our great friend,
The great
Benjamin.
Ben Kyle. The great Ben Kyle
making the play to grab that ball. Attaboy, Ben.
on ball running.
It's our man right there. That's our guy.
BK Burger.
Generational nickname right
Del
there.
Vescovo and Bevavino both leap for it. Bevavino hits the deck. Hopefully he's all right. It appears to be fine. Allison now gets crossed up, and now here's Pineda with a step. Del Vescovo in pursuit. That one left to the far side. It's Suki. Sliding effort from Wallace proves fruitless. Suki maintains possession. Tynan now with some physical defense. No whistle yet, but you do have to be careful. And there it is. There is the whistle. Suki hits the deck. The referee has seen enough, blows the whistle. Free kick coming now for Manhattanville.
Very, very aggressive defense coming out here. A little bit of frustration from the Mount. Obviously, I think they just need to clear their heads and move on. Huge full swing coming out from Wallace there. That's a dangerous tackle. He's lucky he didn't make contact.
And so the Knights have to play aggressive defense, but, I mean, there's a very fine line between aggressive defense and too aggressive of defense.
Certainly, and you have to be careful between being silly and being cutthroat.
And the Knights, of course, having two heavy tasks to bear, the first one being keeping the game where it is, and the second one being finding a way to get the equalizer. 15 and a half minutes to play. Still plenty of time, but we are nearing the last lap as that one's headed and in. And, Bob, we have been talking about that all game. Aiden Sivio at 6'4", the corner kick. You can tell they were going to try and find him, and they do. Manhattanville picks up some insurance, 2-0 Valiants.
Ugh. Like stars in a night, it's darn noticeable, and there's no pollution out tonight, so you can see it pretty easily. Ugh.
And I mean, of course, on corner kicks, any port in a storm. But why not leave one up top shelf where Mama keeps the peanut butter? Sivio, the only guy that can get to it, and he makes the best of it.
Painful one to give up, but the Mount are going to have to get to the drawing board here with 15 minutes remaining in the game.
And now, down 2. Again, still 15 minutes to play, and like I was talking about before I was rudely interrupted by the second goal of the game. I mean, 15 and a half minutes, still plenty of time, but now you're down 2. So now I believe you just have to kick it into overdrive. You have to find a way to scratch the first one across by any means necessary.
Absolutely. It starts with 1. I think at this point you just have to unload the mag. Just let it eat as much as you can.
You're already down 2 in the last couple laps of this one. I mean, you could, 2 goals is the most dangerous lead in hockey. The same, I feel, can be applied to soccer. I mean, Manhattanville definitely can breathe out a little bit. Plenty of soccer left, but the Valiants have had a stranglehold on this game. It feels for the entirety of the game. We're now about 75 minutes in.
Certainly so. There's a lot of jockeying on the front side here.
And so Mazzarelli, it appears, had the jersey grabbed, but the foul will go against the Knights. So Mazzarelli, we've mentioned a couple of times now, he has taken a beating, and now after that second goal, frustrations perhaps a little more apparent for the Mount.
Definitely seems to be the case, and they're going to build even more if Manhattanville continues with their time-wasting tactics that they've been employing since kickoff.
I mean, by this point, if you're up 1-0, I mean, we were talking about earlier, I mean, it's not a particularly flashy brand of soccer, but if boring wins you games, you're going to keep doing that. And now up 2, as Del Vescovo, he scored the first one. It's a ground ball left for Horn. Horn wraps it up. The Knights need to move with some urgency here. So, I mean, Bob, despite our questions about the brand of soccer, they are up 2-0, and that's why we're in the booth and they're on the field.
Seems to be the case, but we also don't go to Manhattanville, and we are broadcasting for the Mount St. Mary College Knights.
Mark comes back on in relief of Belinsky. Now comes number 30, Jeremy Burgos. He'll relieve, I believe, Ethan Wallace. And Burgos not on the field for that corner kick goal, or sorry, that header goal off the corner kick from Sivio. And I wonder how much of an influence that goal had on the decision to put Burgos back in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems to be they've brought 2 more attackers on. They're playing with, I think, 1 less midfielder here, so it seems to be they're just going to be going for broke in these last few minutes.
Now, Mazzarelli, I mean, now if you're the Knights, you don't really have a choice. I mean, go for broke, find a way to get anything across. Throwing a body on Belinsky is Guido Sarango, and the Valiants will begin pushing it the other way. That one left up ahead. It's Bevino. Bevino gets a step on Del Vescovo, able to keep it in the Knights' possession. Gutierrez, the Knights have to find a way to push it upfield. Bevino, that one up along the near sideline, pretty close to us. Ends up out of play. They both fall. Pineda and Bevino get into it. Gutierrez pulls Pineda away so as to avoid any further conflict. Frustration's boiling over for the Mount.
And complaints coming from a side that's up 2-0. Not a great look.
Bevino and Pineda will both get a stern talking to from the refs. They'll dap up, shake hands. However you want to put it. The beef has been squashed. And again, in a 2-0 game, if you're the Knights, surely you're frustrated, but you just have to find a way to. I mean, I'm frustrated too, and I'm the broadcaster. But you have to find a way just to keep your head on the field, no matter how appealing it may be.
Yeah, absolutely. Very difficult to do that, but
a lot easier to say than to do.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I mean, us not being in the game, I'm sure that's much easier for us to say. Here's Tynan now with a little bit of room, gets caught up on the ball, loses the ball. And here come the Valiants pushing the opposite direction, going left to right. So under 12 minutes now to play. Taking a fall is Suki. The whistle is blown. Mazzarelli grabs a yellow card.
Some yelling coming from the parent section over to our right.
The Mount fans to our right, at least, clearly not pleased. And Bob, by this point, it feels like the wheels are starting to fall off.
It certainly does seem like that is the case. I would hope that the whole car and chassis stays one here. It would be really, really unfortunate to completely blow up in these last 10 minutes. It's just at this point, no need.
So yellow cards now both for Coach Longacre and Marco Mazzarelli. Both sides frustrated, and I'd say rightfully so. But in the end, both have been penalized, and in turn, both are on now thin ice.
Definitely seems the case.
11.5 minutes. Manhattanville looking to put the finishing touches on what has been a very well-played soccer game. Horn commiserating, figuring out what to do with the ball. Tried to get it to Bevino. Thought about it. Too many maroon bodies in the area for that to be the right idea. Mazzarelli will leave that for Allison. Allison either couldn't handle it or elected to let it go all the way back to Horn. Horn sends it upfield. Tried to get it to Hoffman. Mazzarelli's pass. Hoffman right in front. Perhaps a little miscommunication there. Clock is stopped. On comes Ryan Alvarado for the Mount, and number 9, Lucas Fernandez for the Valiants. The referee calling for the clock to be stopped as these substitutions come on. The game clock, I believe, will be reset to 10:55. And that it will.
Indeed.
So 10:55 left on the game clock. A tough day at the office, to say the least, for the Mount St. Mary Knights.
Very tough day.
Mazzarelli face guarding Fernandez fresh into the game. That one ends up out of play. It'll stay the way of the Valiants.
But on a brighter side, you will find me and Lucas back in the booth this Monday, I believe. 2 days from today is Monday against Medgar Evans for the men's soccer team. Medgar Evans. I've never heard of their college before.
Interesting.
But that's who we will be playing that day. So you will find us back in the booth that night. I believe it's 6 p.m. That's the usual suspects and the usual time.
It will be posted somewhere accordingly on social media. The Knights,
Naturally, and you don't want to miss it.
barring anything unforeseen, the Knights will look to get back on the saddle Monday night.
For a non-conference clash. And after this, Manhattanville follows up with a match against the United States Marine Merchant Academy.
A big conference game coming up for Manhattanville. We'll see if they can carry momentum from this one into a game against the Mariners.
Very great
Burgos
piece
now
of passing on the wing.
Burgos now with a step with room to work. Pass intended for Welsh, just a little out of reach. Lucas lets it go untouched out of play. Goal kick coming. So we are now under the 10-minute mark. Your score still 2-0 Valiants. A.J. Lucas to kick it away. And assuming the score stays where it is, or at least the winning team stays where it is, just an impressive wire-to-wire effort from Manhattanville.
Very wire-to-wire effort, as there's even more complaining from a side that's up 2-0. Still not a good look if you ask me, and by the end of today, I'm not Manhattanville's biggest fan. But I do go to the opposite school that they're playing, that they're currently beating,
loose
so
in
be it.
front, ends up out behind the end line. A Knight and a Valiant go flying into the back of the net. We hope they're okay.
Oh, my.
No malicious intent. But now I know how a school of fish feels.
Ugh.
Out in the middle of the ocean.
Bagged up in the Atlantic as we are on the East Coast. Our cameraman loves that one. He can't contain himself.
So both parties now out of the lobster trap. We're ready to play some more soccer.
The string has been pulled. See what today's deadliest catch is.
This has been an incredibly interesting second half. So much has happened. As that one's still bouncing around in front, getting a shot on it is Fernandez.
Oh, my.
Well over the net, out of play. 8.5 minutes to play.
Ugh.
And I think if I had to use one word to describe the game today, Bob, it would be ugh.
Ugh is a great way to describe it.
The onomatopoeia of the game is ugh. I believe that's an onomatopoeia.
If I were to quote the ever so creative Kendrick Lamar, I would just simply say, damn. Here we go.
To quote General Custer, of course, his famous last words, uh-oh. Mazzarelli now. It's Welsh. Welsh inside the box. Welsh gets a shot off, diving stop from Lucas. Keeps it in play, keeps the clock running. Another goal kick now for the Valiants. Leaves that one just short. It's Morales. Morales gets it to Bakayaki. Bakayaki back to Morales. Gutierrez. That one ends up just past him. That's number 36, Guido Sarango, working with it. Gets it back to Bakayaki. Sarango now to Rojas. Back to Bakayaki. Leaves it now. It's Morales. Morales guarded tightly by Mark. Now to Rojas. And so it's been a theme of the game, really, or it's been a part, or it feels like it's been a part of the Valiant's game plan the entire game, just to start playing keep away to a capacity, just so as to kill time. And now that is really being exemplified. Under 7 minutes to play, and the Valiants, so is Gutierrez, rifles one towards the net. Diving stop, Lucas. And
Can't hurt to take a rip.
No, of course. And at this point in the game, you're just trying to find one any way you can. I'm sure we'll see a lot more of those as we get closer and closer to all zeros on the scoreboard. About 6.5 left to play. Now it's Lucas Fernandez. Gets it taken away by Bevavino. Bevavino guarded tightly by Pineda. Now it's Tynan along the far sideline. Gets that one to Gutierrez. Gutierrez working it just outside of the midfield circle. Good move, putting the spin move on. Now it's Hughes. Hughes gets it here for Mark. Mark working it along the midfield line. Leaves it back deep. It's Hughes. Hughes, perhaps some miscommunication, passes it to nobody in particular. As that's Rojas firing it up ahead. Bevavino wears that one off the chest, but it'll stick with the Valiants. Now here's Pineda, guarded by Hughes. He'll leave it back deep for Fernandez. Fernandez works it into the Valiants attacking third. That one taken away by Bevavino. Now it's Mark. Mark and Pineda clash shins. Pineda comes away victorious. Morales back to Del Vescovo. That one taken away by Mark. Mark now. It's Bevavino. Bevavino pokes that one. Bakayaki corrals it. Bakayaki's pass rattled away by Bevavino. Number 4 passing it to number 4. Allison now with the step. Good move. Manhattanville just on damage control. Now here's Burgos with a little bit of room to work. Bakayaki comes on with the help defense. Burgos trying to get around. Can't quite. Good defense there for Bakayaki. Bakayaki leaves it now. Up along the near sideline, out of play. And Bob, under 5 minutes to play, it now feels like the Valiants have parked the bus.
It certainly has, and I don't think they have any intentions to do very much else than sit here on defense and lull out the last 5 minutes of the game.
I mean, why not? You're up 2-0. It's unlikely enough that you'll surrender 2 goals. The Valiants, of course, just being extra careful. And despite having an overall record at 3 games under 500, 3-6-1, it's going to be 4-6-1, barring the greatest comeback you've ever seen. The Valiants will go to 2-0-1 in conference.
Definitely very good, despite the poor out-of-conference schedule or record. Always good to be having a positive record in conference.
Bob, as you and I always say, I mean, we have harped on it a whole bunch, but I mean, conference games, they're the ones that matter. These are the ones you want to win.
Yes, they do, and very unfortunate from the Mount. They're going to drop this one, barring a 3-goal thriller or something of the sort.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Houck taking this one incredibly hard.
Ugh.
Leaping effort from both parties. The Knights come away with it. Bevavino sends it straight up. Burgos and Bakiaki both leap for it, and it will be the Valiants taking it away. Now here's Lucas Fernandez working it into the attacking third, guarded by Tynan. Tried to get that one towards the middle. Dale Allison on the deflection. That one kicked upfield, taken away by Aiden Sivio, the lone goal scorer of the second half. Here's Morales. The Valiants working on their side of midfield. That is not Rojas. Rojas now with the ball, receiving the pass from Kenneth Suki. Suki now guarded by Welsh. Now it's Gutierrez. Has that one taken away by Skenapiako. Skenapiako guarded by Tynan. Him and Tynan collide. A late whistle. I mean, so it's not to question the referee's judgment by any means, but with the women's game and now the game now, I mean, there have been a lot of late whistles.
It's 2 different crews, but very similar styles here. Yeah, I would agree very much so. That one made no sense to me because I don't understand why there wouldn't be advantage played because the maroon jerseys maintained possession that entire time.
Now it's the Knights. Now the Valiants taking it away. That one ends up loose in front. Mazzarelli gets a foot on it. Ends up out of play behind the end line. A bit of a lull in play here as the Valiants gear up for a corner kick. The clock's still running.
Take as long as humanly possible as they can because they would like to go back to Manhattanville with 3 points.
And I mean, you're up 2-0, parking the bus as I would rather watch paint dry, but it is an effective strategy as that corner kick rattles up off the top left of the cage, kept out of the net somehow. The Valiants almost picked up a third one.
Oh, bit of a drag down there.
Out of play, a
Alvarado
whistle.
will get a foul call.
Bevavino and Pineda collide. That'll be a yellow card for number 11, Alec Pineda.
We'll take that. There we go, a little gift back.
There is a stoppage. Bevavino and Pineda have been going back and forth, it feels like, at least for the latter half of this second half. Bevavino on the free kick, a whistle, and the referees will quickly blow that one dead.
Oh, jeez. Come on.
So the clock perhaps started a little prematurely. And we will do this again. So 2 minutes and 8 seconds left to play. The clock, as of right now, not running. And so despite a better offensive second half from the Knights, nothing to show for it. Bevavino sends that one well downfield. Tynan giving chase. Can he stay onside? That is a beautiful pass. Tynan gets a head on it. Wrapped up easily by A.J. Lucas. And that, more or less, ladies and gentlemen, is a pretty accurate recap of just how the entirety of the game has gone.
In a vacuum, that's about it right there.
If this was football, we'd have passed the 2-minute warning by now, but it's not, so we'll play on. 1:42 and counting down. That one rifled off of Bevavino. Ends up in the lap of Pineda. Pineda for... That's Morales. Morales gets it back to Bakiaki. Bakiaki all the way up ahead. It's Guido Sarango. Now here is Gutierrez working it up along the near sideline, back towards his own corner. Rifles that one across the field. Cam Welsh. Good job catching up to it. Keeps that one alive. Still in play. Tried to get that one across the field. Mazzarelli gets a foot on it. Can't corral it. Mazzarelli just has to get it out of somebody's way. There's a whistle and a stoppage. It'll go the way of the Knights. That one loose, but the play blown dead.
Second time the referee's done that to our side.
And the clock stopping. 48.2 seconds left to play. Two substitutes due in for the Valiants.
And the clock a little off once again. I don't think to any fault of our operators.
The referee, if it is off by any amount, the referees do not feel that it is drastic enough to stop the game and fix. As Morales sends that one upfield past midfield, Bevavino sends that one back towards just outside the goalie box. Mazzarelli, a leaping effort. He can't get ahead on it. Now here's Gutierrez. Gutierrez fires. Good pass for Welsh. Welsh now has a chance to shoot. Welsh waits, fires just wide.
Oof.
Ends up out of play with 20 seconds and counting down. It will be a corner kick. And Bob, this will likely be the last play of regulation.
Most likely. Probably just commit everyone up front here and see what they can find.
The Knights looking to get one for pride here as Welsh fires one towards the net. It's loose in front. Caron's off someone out behind the end line. And Bob, that takes us to the finish line here this afternoon. The Manhattanville Valiants, an impressive wire-to-wire 2-0 victory here this afternoon over the Mount St. Mary Knights. Bob, any closing statements?
No, not really.
Good talk, Bob. So
It's just an unfortunate one. That's about it, you know. Sometimes they get away from you.
So the Knights handed a difficult loss here on what was a gorgeous sunny Saturday afternoon. As Bob mentioned, we are back on the broadcast, I believe 6 p.m. Monday night against Medgar Evans. We will be back for that non-conference matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you as always for making us a part of your Saturday afternoon, and we will see you Monday evening.
Absolutely. Have a good one, guys, and God bless.